When a gifted doctor turns into a serial killer, he ruthlessly murders innocent people one after another. However, behind this doctor's killing of humans lies an unimaginable, specific motive. Recently, more than 10 serial murders occurred in an area. Following the clues, the police finally succeeded in identifying the suspect. Tonight, the SWAT team raided the location. The killer was present inside, and a patient was lying on the operating table. Judging by the scene, it appears the killer is a doctor. A while later, prosecutor CHA interrogates the accused, Yu Qian. Yu Qian confesses that he is developing a drug for incurable diseases, capable of curing almost all types of severe ailments. The patient he was treating right before his arrest was in the final stages of cancer. Had the police not intervened, that person would have regained a new life today. Regarding the human body parts and corpse fragments found in the refrigerator, he explains that these were part of the clinical trials for the drug development. To make the drug successful, living human bodies or tissues were required. Prosecutor CHA repeatedly asks how many people he has killed in total and where their bodies are. Yu Qian writes a 0 in his notebook. He has killed a total of 17 people, but according to his claim, since the deaths of these 17 people will save the lives of billions, by calculation, he hasn't actually killed anyone. Prosecutor CHA dismisses Yu Qian's logic of considering himself a savior with contempt. In his eyes, Yu Qian is merely a serial killer. However, not everyone thinks so, especially lawyer Han Jun. Until now, Han Jun had sacrificed his conscience to fight cases only for the wealthy because he needed a vast amount of money for his daughter's treatment. His daughter suffers from a rare genetic disease, for which Han Jun has been desperately searching for a cure for several years. As a result of his efforts, Han Jun found a pharmaceutical businessman a few days ago. The businessman informed him that a drug to cure this disease was under research and had shown excellent results in clinical trials. As his daughter's condition was deteriorating day by day, Han Jun pinned all his hopes on this drug. But suddenly, that businessman went missing. While Han Jun was deeply worried, an acquaintance, journalist Zhao, contacted him. Journalist Zhao proposed a client's name to him, who was none other than the killer of 17 people, Yu Qian. Rumor had it that Yu Qian himself requested Han Jun as his lawyer. If Han Jun agreed, he would receive a massive 10-digit fee. Han Jun couldn't understand why Yu Qian chose him instead of a renowned law firm. Journalist Zhao revealed that Yu Qian had mentioned a specific person, who was that missing pharmaceutical businessman, and that businessman had died at Yu Qian's hands. Upon hearing the news of the businessman's death, Han Jun realized the matter was not simple at all. He arranged a meeting with Yu Qian through the journalist. As soon as they met, Han Jun asked directly if he had really killed that businessman. Yu Qian effortlessly admitted that he was the one who did it. When Han Jun asked about the medicine, Yu Qian calmly uttered Han Jun's daughter's name. Clearly, he knew about Han Jun's daughter's illness and his desperation for the cure. Yu Qian reminded Han Jun that the medicine the businessman had spoken of would not cure his daughter's disease, but Yu Qian himself could cure it. When Han Jun expressed disbelief, Yu Qian insisted that Han Jun would definitely fight his case. He added that if Han Jun visited the patients he had cured, he would understand his power, as all those patients had been near death. Astonished after hearing this, Han Jun gathered more information about Yu Qian from journalist Zhao. The journalist didn't know much, but Yu Qian had called him before the arrest, and the journalist had seen with his own eyes several patients with incurable diseases recovering. Still not fully convinced, Han Jun went to meet one of the cured patients himself. Following the information, he found a young man named Jiang, who used to be paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair. Han Jun was stunned to see him. Jiang was now completely healthy and moving around like a normal person. It seemed Yu Qian truly possessed the miraculous power to save lives. Meanwhile, prosecutor CHA continued to despise Yu Qian. In his view, even if someone saves the lives of billions but kills one person, he is still a murderer, not God. Then the results of the lie detector test arrived, proving that Yu Qian was not lying. His motive for the murders was genuinely medical research. This is why Yu Qian had written his confession as the autobiography of a great man. During interrogation, Yu Qian recounted the story of the drug's discovery. Initially, he had poured surplus medicine from his research into a flower pot, The next day, he saw the withered flower had bloomed fresh again. Then, he put the medicine in a fish tank, and a dying fish came back to life overnight. From then on, he began this mad research on human beings. Along with the story of the medicine, Yu Qian proposed a deal to the prosecutor. He revealed the location of several bodies and promised to confess his guilt in court. In exchange, his demand was that he be given a chance in court to demonstrate curing a dying patient in front of everyone without any surgery. Based on Yu Qian's information, the police found the bodies in the mountains. Nevertheless, Prosecutor Cha did not agree to this deal and planned to ensure Yu Qian's death sentence in court. On the other hand, after seeing the cured Jiang, Han Zhan's curiosity grew even more. During their next meeting, Yu Qian shared his past. Several years ago, he had fallen into a coma due to a road accident, and after 3 years, he miraculously regained consciousness. However, upon waking, he suffered from intense pain as a side effect of the accident. A brilliant student who had topped the medical college merit list, he began researching on himself to find relief from that agony. After countless experiments, he created a special medicine that not only eliminated his own pain but also became a solution for other complex diseases. Prosecutor Cha presented gruesome photographs of the recovered bodies. The corpses were dismembered and mutilated. Cha claimed that if the objective was solely medical research, there would have been no need to destroy the bodies in such a manner. Furthermore, Cha's investigation revealed that one of the victims was the driver responsible for Yu Qian's accident. Prosecutor Cha argued that Yu Qian's primary motive was revenge and that this was a cold-blooded, premeditated murder. Initially, Han Zhan did not speak on behalf of either side. He simply informed the court that at the next hearing, he would present 6 witnesses who had been cured by Yu Qian's treatment. Outside the courtroom, Yu Qian pressured Han Zhan, insisting that his sentence must be reduced by any means necessary, or else Han Zhan's daughter's death was inevitable. To save his daughter, Han Zhan clung to Yu Qian as his last hope. After the first hearing, Han Zhan resigned from his law firm and joined journalist Zhao's private studio. At Han Zhan's suggestion, Zhao wrote an article titled, "Why is the prosecutor ignoring the truth?" Following its publication, the prosecution department came under pressure, but prosecutor Cha refused to back down. In preparation for the next hearing, Han Zhan searched for the families of those 6 patients. He first visited Jiang's mother, but she refused to testify in court. She did not want anyone to know that her son had been cured by the hands of a murderer. Almost defeated, Han Zhan went to the courthouse to meet the head of the judiciary, where prosecutor Cha was also present. It turned out Han Zhan and Xie knew each other. When Han Zhan was a teacher, Cha had been his most brilliant student. However, now Cha showed no respect for his former teacher and instead spoke in a harsh tone. Han Zhan informed the head that the witnesses would be present. The head stated that the main focus of the next hearing would be the motive behind Yu Qian's crimes. Was it mere murder or for the sake of medicine? That night, the secretary from Han Zhan's former law firm visited him and offered to help. Using her social skills, the secretary persuaded Jiang's mother and another leukemia patient to testify. However, they showed the secretary a letter sent by Yu Qian. In the letter, Yu Qian threatened to leak the witnesses' personal information. Han Zhan realized that the witnesses were agreeing to testify out of fear, not gratitude. Han Zhan warned Yu Qian not to contact the witnesses without his permission. At the second hearing, Jiang's mother testified about her son's miraculous recovery. However, prosecutor Cha was prepared. He brought in a forensic researcher who testified that there is no precedent in medical science for curing paralysis, polio. Therefore, Jiang was likely suffering from a different condition that heals easily. Following this testimony, the situation turned against Yu Qian. The biggest blow came when the cured leukemia patient, Song, took the stand to testify for the prosecution. Song claimed Yu Qian was a fraud because his disease had returned. This testimony left Han Zhan cornered. However, the truth took another turn. When prosecutor Say met with Song after the hearing, Song revealed that after being cured by Yu Qian's treatment, he had gone to a hospital out of fear and underwent surgery a second time. Prosecutor Cha then recalled a warning Yu Qian had given during his arrest, that patients cured by his treatment should never seek other medical treatments. Song's condition had deteriorated because the 2 types of medical procedures were mixed. Seo realized that Yu Qian had indeed cured him and Song had fallen ill again due to his own mistake. Meanwhile, Han-jun began to lose faith in Yuqian, suspecting that Yuqian's true motive might simply be to show off his talent to the world. Yuqian admitted that yes, he did want to prove himself, but Han-jun would not be able to bear the reason behind it. With this, the episode comes to an end. To watch more new episodes, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. See you in another new video. Thank you, everyone.